37M, 38F. Partner wants me to pay half of her work gas commute money. Me and my partner have been together for 8 years and have recently moved into the house we bought together. We mostly have reached the agreement on how to share finances. We have our own accounts, but one common one for household where we put the money we need proportionally. Partner who has higher salary puts in proportionally more. However, my partner also wants to share the price for her commute to work. Her argument is that I work from home, which is a perk. To me it seems that she should pay herself for her commute to work, as that is not a common expense and me working from home is not an excuse for that. Anyone in similar situation has advice how they solved or would solve similar situations? If you want to get fancy with it, I could agree that her gas to work should come out of the pre-split income. Meaning, if her income is $1,000 a month, and she spends $100 on gas, then her contribution to the shared fund is based on $900 of income. The logic works the same way that your use of extra heat, electricity, internet, and a dedicated workspace in your home are being covered by your shared budget, right? You're not contributing to cover those extra expenses? 25F, 26M. Boyfriend accidentally cheated whilst drunk? I've been struggling with this for a while now. My relationship was so perfect, but in the last year, we've been struggling with intimacy issues. Mainly due to my boyfriend taking antidepressants, which seem to completely have killed his libido. A couple of months ago he got drunk during his shift. He works in a pub, as customers were buying him drinks. He then stayed behind to drink more with a female coworker, superior, during close, as he wanted to discuss how rude she was being to him, other staff. Apparently this conversation then spiraled into them discussing personal trauma which he has only ever discussed with me in the past. Something I feel was incredibly intimate due to it being so personal, him only ever discussing it with me and his therapist and only knowing this woman for a few weeks. We'd also had numerous discussions about him not drinking alone with other women, as that crossed my personal boundaries. And I even re-mentioned this the day before the cheating happened, as he was drinking with a male coworker that time. Events then escalated and he went back to her place to apparently drink with more people which were supposed to be there. Again, something I would have never been okay with, as she is a complete stranger to this day. I still have no idea who she is. However, when he got there they were alone and he decided for some reason to drink even more. He tells me his choices were likely badly impaired due to mixing alcohol with his medications. As the night is very hazy, this is very out of character. They then watched things on Netflix whilst drinking. He tells me he can't remember if he fell asleep, was awake, but apparently she went out of the room, then walked in naked sometime later. Proceeding to give him oral and then have sex with him. Apparently at this stage he didn't say anything, or even touch her. But stopped the sex when he realized it was wrong and immediately went home. He then called me an hour or so later and lied, saying it was just a kiss she initiated. Then that same day, hours later, he called back and confessed everything, the truth. He said he lied as he knew it'd break me. I've been cheated on in all of my past relationships, pleading face. He still works at that pub, even though I asked him to leave, and he is only working there for fun, as it's helpful for his mental health. But that girl got moved to a different work location. I'm so lost at what to do. I feel like I deserve better, but I loved him, our relationship so much. I genuinely thought we'd be married one day. Now I can't even compliment him or say, I love you, back as I'm so heartbroken, but have been trying to make things work. Can anyone give me advice on whether this was cheating and what to do? Boyfriend got drunk at work and went back to coworker's place. She had sex with him, but he says his medication mixed with alcohol impaired his judgment and he walked out once he realized what was happening. No one cheats by accident. He chose to drink. He chose to go back to a girl's house and he very much chose to have sex with her. Probably best for you to move on. Forgiving means not bringing it up again and not holding them to past mistakes. Forgiving is 100 times harder than just finding someone new. It's up to you whether you stay or not, but please hear me when I say this. If you stay, you have to let it go and give him a clean slate. Forgiving means just that, forgive and move on. It's harder than it sounds. Alcohol doesn't make you cheat, it just removes some of the barriers. And there is cheating, or not cheating, and this is cheating. 21M, 21F. My boyfriend keeps commenting on how I dress and I don't know how to get him to stop. My boyfriend, 21M, and I, 21F, have been together around 6 months and he has repeatedly made comments on the clothes I wear. I usually wear Lululemon athletic shorts and a hoodie because those are what I'm comfortable in and they make me feel confident. He's mentioned multiple times how I always wear the same things, every day. He also likes to point out things other girls are wearing and saying, "You should get those," or, "Those would look good on you." But it's things I've expressed aren't my style. I've told him before that I don't like how he picks on what I wear, and I've asked him if he doesn't like how I dress, but he just shrugs and says he doesn't care. I even tried to dress differently for a dinner date last week, but he didn't say I looked nice at all, and while waiting for a table at the restaurant commented again on another girl's clothing saying, "You should wear those." What should I do? It really hurts my feelings and makes me feel insecure, but he doesn't seem to get it. TL, Doctor. My boyfriend doesn't like how I dress and makes sure to let me know. How do I handle this? You've been together 6 months. This is a sign, especially if you've mentioned you don't care for the comments. Assuming you have had an adult conversation with him already. 6 months in. Find a new BF. Pretty simple. Yeah, boo this guy. He's probably consuming media of girls dressing like this and now he's trying to turn you into them. Bottom line, he's telling you he's not very attracted to you. You handle this by breaking up with him because he's not worth it. If you are 6 months in and he doesn't care about your opinions and feelings. This is the honeymoon phase and so this is his best behavior. It's only going to get worse. Next time he makes that comment you reply with, "No. You should wear that because I've already told you too many times that it's not my style and I'm done repeating myself. And peace out." What a douche. 32F, 42M, 22F. I don't want to let my husband's daughter come home after she ran away. My husband's daughter moved in with us after she turned 18 because she hated her mom's BF. I actually had a friend paying to rent a room at the time who I asked to move out so she could have it. Even didn't charge him for the last month to help him find a place. It has honestly sucked. She was entitled, lazy, refused to clean up after herself. Would complain about dinner, and get up and go back to her room leaving her plate at the table, would clean her room and leave a sinkload of moldy dishes. Never once helped clean any common areas, paid no rent. One time I woke up to her gone and the guy she had been dating for 3 months watching TV in my living room, while she was at work. I could go on for days. She would only help if something turned into a fight, either with her and I or her dad. 5 weeks ago we got into it again, and she packed her stuff and left. Found out later that she moved in, with her 40-year-old male coworker. Now, coworker and her are not getting along. It honestly sounds like similar problems, and she wants to come back. I'll be honest, I already cleaned out her room and made it into a game room, office, workout room. Life had been 1,000 times better with her not here. She comes over and visits regularly. That started not long after she left. She got nicer and nicer as she told us how mean her roommate were. This guy has a married couple child living with him too. And her dad still takes her out for dinner and things like that, so it's not a NC situation. Her mom is currently couch surfing so she can't move back in with her. I don't want her to move back in here. My husband wants us to let her come back but give her a timeliness to find another place. I don't want to because, 1, I am enjoying the peace and having our own space, 2, I don't trust her to stick to an agreement, 3, she had bad-mouthed to a ton of people, her and her friends call me, stepmonster, so I am not really feeling that inclined to help her. In these situations, the parent is almost always going to choose their biological child ahead of their new spouse. This is unlikely a battle that you can win. If you convince your husband to turn her away, then he will resent you for it. If you go along with things and let her come back, then you'll be miserable. If she is safe and merely unhappy, then she should work it out in the new place. She was unhappy at your place too. Making yourself unhappy again, even briefly, is not the answer.